Hi friends, welcome to Lotus in the Light. Okay, I thought I'd do a short little video here. I'll try to keep it short, but I honestly don't even know what I'm going to talk about. So let me just take a minute to tap in here. I hope you join me in that, just setting the intention together that we're co-creating together, you, me, and spirit. Trying to tap into your energy as well. In between the three of us, there's got to be something to talk about, right? I think I'm just going to maybe start with a card. Dropped the deck. I think I'm going to pull a self-love oracle. I know what you're saying. If I was divinely inspired, if I'm leaning into divine inspiration and recording only when I'm divinely inspired, then why don't I have a topic? But that's it sometimes, especially for me. That's the big challenge for me is trusting. I used to I've never done it on these videos. I don't script anything. And I thought I was going to. I scripted the very first intro video to Lotus in the Light where I was just introducing who we are. And it was then that I realized that I'm not supposed to be um, ever scripting this. It was a break from the way I operate. I've never done anything unscripted. It was terrifying to me. I would forget where I was. I'd forget what I wanted to say. It was the worst. And I thought, I'm not doing Lotus in the Light or these videos unless it brings me joy. I had set that intention right up front. And I realized that the joy is in not having to write and script. How did I get off on this tangent? I don't even know. I don't even know where that came from. So I'm just going to turn to the card. Oh, I guess because this was all unscripted. Okay, but sometimes I still come into it already knowing what I divinely am supposed to talk about. Okay, this says soul lesson truth, throat chakra. Oh my gosh. I have done so much throat chakra work this year. It's this is really about finding your voice, okay? Listening. I like how it says listen, silent sounds. There's just these random words on here that I feel like I'm supposed to share with you. I think it's a 17. That number's hard to read, which breaks down to an 8, which is all about infinite possibilities. So there's this beautiful woman here that the world is her oyster if she can find her truth and her voice. Um, and until we come to a place where we're ready to start shedding the layers of programming uh, and embracing our inner truth, um, we are always going to feel out of control in our own life. Most of us and most of our struggles in this life are all around control, are all around, I'll take that even one layer deeper, are all around feeling like we are in our own power or have some power dynamic in this life, okay? And the truth is, you are the only one who's in control of your life. You are the only one that's shaping your reality and your destiny. You. That's all you. But what we allow ourselves to believe, what we allow ourselves to be guided by, those are the things that determine that experience. But it's all decided by you, no one else. We want to get angry at everyone else when things don't go the way we think they should. Um, I feel like I'm going on a tangent here, but it really comes down to finding our own truth and being able to um, find our voice in it. That's what the throat chakra is all about. Okay, I'm going to read a blurb. I'm not going to read the whole thing. And then maybe pull a tarot. Your body is listening. It hears all of your thoughts and words. Your words are powerful and they instruct every cell in your physical body. Pay close attention to how you think, describe, and relate to your body. Perhaps your soul knows better than your mind about how you should feel about yourself. This is comical because I actually was going to do a video about um, a body image. And I was like, I was struggling to, like, I felt pulled in that direction, but I also was like, I don't really know where to go with that. And again, I don't script. So this was literally seconds before I was going to hit record. So I'm like, I don't really know where to go with that. So I just like, I was like, I'm not even going to commit to that. I'm just going to hit record and see what happens. And here it is taking us there. By choosing your words wisely and by only being self-loving, you can nourish, heal, and renew. With total reverence for your body and an ongoing commitment to proper self-care, you can free yourself from disease and premature aging. With a truthful, elevated self-perception and a willingness to learn and change, you can maintain your youthfulness. Well-being involves being able to truly receive pleasure and learn how to properly relax. You are the most intuitive healer you'll meet and the one person you will be with the most. That's right. You're not going to be with anyone more than with yourself. Okay. So we're talking about finding truth as it relates to body image. And it's talking about choose your words wisely about how you talk about yourself. So this is very interesting. And I'm gonna pull from the Wild Reflections Tarot and just try to tap in because again, this is where I initially felt pulled to talk. Um what how do you define beauty? And if you don't see yourself as beautiful, why? What about yourself do you not find beautiful? For most of us, even though we say and we know we know at that deep level that beauty's from within. But boy, are we really tied to physical beauty, to external beauty. And I get that. We're living in a physical world. We have this beautiful planet, this beautiful earth. Um, physical, physical, the physicality of something tells a story. It tells a narrative, okay? It tells us something about that thing, right? The problem isn't physically how someone looks, it's what we believe about how they look, okay? So let me give you an example. I don't know how many, couple hundred years ago, if a person had a little bit more weight on them, it was actually a sign of prosperity, right? Because, and I say people, I'm thinking more women, okay? Um, I'm throwing cards around. I guess all of these kind of popped out. So we'll just start at the bottom and see what story they tell us. Um, But if you had a little woman had a little bit more weight on her, it was a sign of prosperity. She didn't have to toil in the fields or work or what, right? She had a life of luxury. It meant something. Now, if someone has a little bit more weight on them, there's an understanding that maybe there's a laziness there, or maybe it's not a laziness, maybe it's a lack of self-control. Okay, but these are narratives that are rooted in bigger belief systems. Okay, so I'm not going to dig into the root because it's different for different beliefs, right? I'm just going to say this. When you look at yourself and see something negative, what is it you're telling yourself about that? So when I look at myself, I used to, not my whole life. I've been like this in terms of like my weight and my physical health, okay? Um and I would say right now I'm the biggest weight wise I've ever been, honestly. And I used to, just a couple of years ago, I would go to the gym 4 or 5 times a week. I was at that point at my best physical, um, most ideal physical, like I was physically fit. I ate well, all yada yada. What narratives that I had been telling myself over these last couple of years as I put this weight on, you know, is that I'm not attractive. right? Didn't feel attractive. I didn't feel beautiful. I didn't feel proud of my body. And where I am today, in fact, and then I was hyper focused on I've got to get back to being healthy, but I don't want it to be for the purpose of looking beautiful. That felt like a crappy motivation for me. It felt like an icky reason to want to, like, I wanted to get healthy. I wanted to want to lose weight for the purpose of being healthy. But I also wanted to be honest with myself. And the honest reason was that I wanted to look attractive. You see what I'm saying? So I was beating myself up for even the reason that I wanted to get my body into shape, which is terrible because if that's where you're at, embrace it. And if you want to get healthy because you want to be beautiful, then great. Get healthy so you can be beautiful, right? And I was even beating myself up over that. Um, if you want to get healthy so you can be healthy, great. And that's where I used to be and where I wanted to get back to. Um, I say that, but I think it was always about looking beautiful because it was about that body image, those stories that we would tell ourselves, how we're not worthy if we're not beautiful, right? So anyway, this year I kind of came to a new place in understanding that um, it wasn't even being healthy in the physical sense. It was about I was learning these new how to connect to God in a new way. And my physical body was a big part of that. My chakra system, my energy centers are a big part of that. And they're impacted by what we eat, how we exercise, things like that. So now all of a sudden I have a new motivation for getting physically healthy, but I also was resisting falling into patterns that for me are addictive patterns of exercise, addictive patterns of eating. I was always like all or nothing. I'm doing it well or I'm not doing it at all. And I didn't want to fall into that either. So anyway, and now I've even come even further in my perspective where now instead of striving for something better for my body, I'm just loving myself exactly how I am because there's no ideal body. We all have different bodies for a reason. You might have um, extra weight on your hips because you're going to have a bunch of babies and you got to be carrying them, right? So you need some extra hippage. I don't know if extra weight on your hips is what I meant, but you know what I mean. Weight or wide, just extra wide hips. You might have extra strong arms because you are here to build things and construct things, and that's going to be a big part of your life. And that's the body you have. You might have predispositions to certain diseases because of your ancestry, and you've chosen that because those are going to be life lessons that you have to learn about. You have to learn about how to overcome and heal from certain diseases or heal from certain perspectives like body image perspective, issues. So anyway, we have the bodies that we have, the exact bodies that we have for many different reasons. But no matter what, your body has gotten you to where you are today. No matter how badly you've beat it up, no matter how crappy of stuff you've put in it, food, drugs, whatever. No matter how much you didn't exercise it and let your muscles atrophy or whatever, it still has been supporting you in the best way that it can all this time. Give it some love and gratitude. Tell your body thank you. Tell your body you love it. Love your body. I feel like I'm lecturing now. So Ace of Swords is this is about you're finding a new truth. Ace is the beginning of something, and swords is all about knowledge and learning. So you're learning something new here. And it apparently is about your body image, okay? And a lot of this is going to be tied up in belief systems that you're really going to have to dig deep. It's going to be different for everyone. But for example, why is it that you believe you're not worthy of someone's love? And I guess this message is for someone specific because not everyone may feel this way, but why is it that you're unworthy of someone's love unless you're physically fit and beautiful? Do they make you feel that way? Now, you might want to be angry at someone who's making you feel bad about your body, but they're not making you feel bad about your body. We attract to us a reflection of who we are on the inside. If you are partnered with somebody who's making you feel bad about you because of your body, it's because you already believe that. You already believe inside that you're not worthy unless your body is in some ideal, whatever you think is this ideal look. Okay. When you no longer believe that, when you shed that belief, you will shed the desire to be with somebody who thinks that about you. You will think too highly of yourself to be with that person. Or you will have to set the expectation to them that no, that's, I am worthy. And they will either open their eyes to that and be like, oh, you are, I love you just the way you are. Or energetically, from a frequency perspective, you have outgrown them and you will need to move on, right? To really find happiness and joy. Because the person that would, at that energetic vibration that you're at now, that allows you to be with a person that thinks that way about you, if they don't grow with you, they're still going to be stuck in a mindset that says, my worth, meaning their worth, is tied up in not only how my body looks, but how my partner's body looks. You can't change their mind in that if that's what they believe. But you may have found a new truth, right? Going back to this new truth, where you realize my body is just a vessel, is just a tool in my life to help me have these wonderful experiences on this earth. It means my body contributes zero to the value of who I am. You are divine. You're worth everything. Okay. And you're figuring that out. That's your new truth that you're coming to. And strength. I love this. You're finding your strength. I love this. This is awesome. So here we have, you're learning a new truth about yourself. And throat chakra is all about voicing that truth, finding your voice in that truth. And you've got the strength. You're finding your truth. It's a new truth, right? Ace of Swords. This is a new truth, a new understanding for you. And you're finding your strength that's going to support you in voicing this truth. I love it. Oh my gosh. But here's the Nine of Wands. Okay. So Nine of Wands is just about like, you've been through it. You have not come to this truth easily. This new truth that you're finding, you've worked hard to find it, to get there, and you might still be working on it. There's still some stuff going on. I don't know if you can see this, but this guy, he's been through it. And Wands is about being able to draw on. I mean, you have used every intuitive notion, every piece of ancient wisdom, every experience. You've used it all to help guide you um, on this path. And you're like spent. You're like, I got nothing left, man. I got nothing left. But you're at the end of that journey. You're at the end of that journey. And now you have discovered this new truth. And you're finding your strength to be able to vocalize and verbalize that truth and defend yourself in the beauty that is you. You are beautiful. You want a good throat chakra exercise? You go in the mirror and you look at yourself and you say it out loud. I am beautiful, and believe it. Say it till you believe it. Words are powerful. And I think that's what, when we read this, I think it talked about your words having power. But I'll tell you what, empty words have no power. So sometimes when you're saying those kind of mantras and you don't really believe it in the beginning, they don't really have power. But a belief is just a thought. Belief isn't always true. In fact, most of the time it probably isn't, right? But we believe it anyway. We believe it's true. So all thoughts are, or all beliefs are thoughts that we keep having over and over. So even if your mantra, I love myself, you are beautiful, I am beautiful, even if you keep saying that every day and you don't believe it at first, um, it's still inspiring you to consider something different. It's forcing you to face it, right? It's forcing you to face it. And eventually, hopefully, you will realize that um, whatever the negative beliefs are that are not true about you and about your body. Okay, I feel like I've rambled, so I'm just going to stop there. I don't even know how long this video has been, but hey, good luck. You're beautiful. Tell yourself that every day. Love you. Peace out.